Hello Sagittarius, this is your extended reading. So good news, if you are worried about wanting to save loved ones that are immersed in this turbulent water that we've seen from the first part, I feel like they are going to be saved, but it's their choice. It's like they have to find their own, it's like finding their own place to leap, because it's like there's only one hurricane meant for each person, so you cannot take a +1 or a +2, right? It's like this is only meant for you and for each person that you're trying to save by carrying them on your back. Because it's interesting, so we begin this extended with the 8 of Pentacles. So this is actually very, very, very curious to me, because you know, you are coming from being immersed in this turbulent water, swimming, but then being scooped onto this boat that is dry, that is safe, that is providing you this it's like this not upping your game, it's not that, it's like as I said, it's like this safe place to land after feeling like you are being depleted, but also being, how do I want to express this? Feeling like your emotions are deceiving you, or that being emotionally invested towards saving these ones, it was actually in detriment to your own good, to your own well-being, to your own health, to your own safety, security, to your own financial stability, right? But nonetheless wanting to help. But as I said, it's like you wanted to take them out of these turbulent waters that were coming through as these two 8s, right? The 8 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. And because we're starting with another 8, it's like at first, Sagittarius, you thought that with your work perhaps, or with your possessions, with your money, with your financial stability, with your wealth even, or even with your time and just your body, because I'm seeing it with you like swimming can be a very it requires a lot of strength in the body, right? You have to have a lot, it's like you have to, oh, this is so interesting the way that it's coming through right now. It's like for you to breathe, it's like for you to swim, you have to breathe really well, right? Your lungs have to have like you have to have big lungs. It's how I'm seeing. It's like a big chest and big lungs, right? For you to really have room. So that could be it, right? So this boat could be like your own motor, like your own body, and turning on the motor with this breathing exercise, expanding your lungs, right? And thinking that you had enough to take others with you. As I said, it's like you're seeing those that you love drowning, so you jump into the water, and with your incredible bodily ability to swim perhaps, right, or to save them from something that you thought you had the strength to do, to go through with them on your back, it's like once you jump in, you realize that it's too heavy. Because here what I'm seeing, you know, usually I see these two as the overlay of 2 X's, right? One being you and the other being on top. So you see them drowning too, and you want to help, but at the very moment that you jump, because you know when you are on the boat and looking down into the water, it's like you feel like you have every capacity to help, right? You have the means to help, you have the body strength to help, but really when you jump and they are desperately wanting saving, right? It's like they jump on your back is what I'm seeing here, and immediately you sink down into the water. So it's like you sense, because you have come so close to trying to save them, to wanting to save them, but being depleted by their emotional desperation really, and you let go. it's like you understand that you cannot stay in this situation that is too heavy, right? And because we have these three interesting cards following, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Death card, and the Seven of Swords. And actually the Seven of Swords is connected to this card here at the bottom of the deck that I'll get to it, but it's another seven, the Seven of Pentacles. So this is the key actually that is showing me that even though all of you are swimming in the same pond, in a sense, in the same river, going through the same turbulence, the same emotional challenges, it's like each one of you has to find, especially you Sagittarius, because this is a message for you and those around you. So you are the one who has to first, perhaps, right, swiftly move on to a better opportunity to save yourself. And by doing so, perhaps you will show them that all of you can save yourselves, right? That you don't need anybody else to save you. You are your own saviors, in a sense, right? So these two cards here, the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Swords, are talking about those like you, Sagittarius, who really find, you know, scattered throughout the oceans in the world, or the rivers, or the water bodies, you know, throughout the world, these passages, these portals inside the water that could be very chaotic, as I was saying, like a hurricane in the water, right? That would, it feels like it's just going to so what I'm getting right now is like this passage to another dimension that I was seeing here on top of the hat is scary, right? So these people that are on the surroundings of this point in particular, it feels like it's going to drain you forever, right? You will never come back. But really it's that you are going to another dimension. You're going to another reality, one that's more magical, into a new world perhaps, right? And so there are those who choose, and perhaps those who you know, who you love, who you want to help, who you want to save, and who you feel like you could save. But first you have to save yourself. And so it's like here, it's like I'm seeing the top of this hat right here. It's like you see signs of magic. So this is the signal for you, Sagittarius, that this is your passage. This is your ticket to this other dimension, although it could be scary from the outside, right? And so this is the top view of it. It's like, you know that this is going to provide you with this portal interdimensionally. So, and you know, interdimensionally, because right away it's the Death card, and the Death card is in between these two portals. So this is the distinction between your survival instinct that is connected to your intuition. So it's not only the guidance that you receive, like, you know, this is it, this is the spot. Yes, it could be scary, but it's also magical. Yes, it could be very life-changing, but it's leading towards a portal that is, there is no return once you cross it, because it's like once you cross to another dimension, it's really hard for you to go back to your old world. It's like it's very compelling to explore new waters. It's like you don't want to be depleted by the waters that you already know, right? Even though the ones that you love are still there, scared to cross through the portals that they could. It's like there are portals made for them specifically, but it requires them fighting their own fear of the unknown, of what's on the other side, because perhaps they don't see the magic as you do, you see? So it's like you're not afraid of going through this portal because you know that it's something that is meant for you, even though it is going to change your life forever, right? It is like that definite. But for them, it's like they rather stay in the turbulent waters, you know, still wearing the wet clothes that is, you know, making them feel heavier and heavier and heavier, than to really cross this door. It's like for them, this is too scary. So they'd rather stay in a challenging situation, even though it could be very detrimental to them, even for their emotional well-being, but it's familiar. It's a familiar river, right? So they don't know what's on the other side, so they rather stay where they are, even though it is still circular. So this is interesting. It's like repeating patterns. It's like karma, the karma wheel, right? So you are seeing that, you know, for you to really go onto new seas, venture out onto, you know, other oceans, and really go to another dimension of reality and find one that is more magical to you. It's like you find that you have to take this leap to change your destiny in a sense, but you cannot change any other people's destiny. It's like they have to change their own destiny. This is actually very, very interesting because it's coming through as I said, it's like you cannot be their saviors, right? Because they have their own destiny, and they can choose to stay in this repeating cycle, right? In the same turbulent waters that they have always been, because it's familiar. Or like you, Sagittarius, they could choose to venture out and follow their intuition and instinct, right? Both together, because as I said, intuition is coming through as like these sparkles that are showing you the way, that are pointing you the direction to really take this leap that is this spiral energy and not just this circular repeating movement, right? That is leading towards this. So it's like this death card here is presented to all, but only those that like you are able to join intuition and instinct, right? So it's the guidance, but the movement. You, as I said, you cannot stay there waiting. It's like you have to move. There has to be speed. There has to be passion. There has to be action and drive. But the door is there to everyone, for all of you, for all of those who want to cross this door to another dimension, right? But you see that and you're not afraid of it. It's like you're not afraid to change your destiny. Perhaps these ones are, right? They're afraid of the unknown and you're not. And I want to say that is the reason why perhaps you'll be able to see that from afar, but first you have to leap yourself, right? First, it's like you tried to save them, but you saw that it was too heavy. You could not take them on your back. Even though you have incredible resources, you have the means, or it's like you have enough, but you have enough for yourself. It's like for now, you don't have enough to spare with others. But with these three cards, actually, I feel like you'll realize that what you have right now is only enough for you. That really what you have, perhaps financially, materially, or even your body, right? Your body strength, your body well-being, it's like it's necessary for your own leap, right? And so we have the Five of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. And as I said, you know, this Seven of Pentacles at the bottom, we'll get there. But whoever is in this water that you feel like you want to save, or that was crying for help, right? That you, to the point that you jumped in to save them, but quickly seeing that you don't really have what it takes to save them, because it's not under your control whether you can save them or not. You can only control your own path, your own destiny. And those who are in the same water, or that are really close to you, that are perhaps, you know, struggling, it's like they have to take their own leap. What this Five of Swords is talking about, especially because it's underneath the Wheel of Fortune, and I feel like it's going to be clearer to see, but you know, there's this X shape here, right? Which is also here. So what this Five of Swords is talking about is that for those who are in the water, and I hope you can see this here too. So the X is also here, but it's like it's circular. So it's like they have to realize that by doing this over and over and over, trying to swim in circles, they're missing out what it's right underneath their consciousness, I want to say, right? Because it's right where they are. It's like if they stop crying out for help, especially your help, I want to say, it's like they'll see that the opportunity for them to change their own destiny, it's right underneath their feet, right under their consciousness. So the opportunity for them to find this wheel of fortune that you found is right there where they already are. But the only thing is that they need to be, well, I don't want to say brave, but it's like they have to build this conversation between intuition and instinct, right? It's like using mind and heart as one, right? And knowing the distinction to see that even though this could be scary because there is a big unknown, right? But it's worth it because it's going to take you to your own destiny, right? And because we have these Cups cards here, the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups, this is talking about you realizing that once you do cross this this death threshold, which is, you know, it's almost like the death is the door right underneath or right at the end of this hurricane, right? So it's almost like a drain. If you think of a drain, right, it's like there is only one way that this water will go, right? But this one way is leading towards this death door, and the death door will open up to this magical reality that is, you know, that is being taken because of this Wheel of Fortune. So it's like you chose to change your own destiny. You weren't afraid to go towards this door that was, you know, that was going to forever change your life in a sense, but that was going to present you with, as I said, better opportunities, right? And so with these two cards, it's just that I want to add the bottom of the deck too. It's like, first you have to cross this threshold yourself. You have to allow yourself to save yourself first instead of wanting to help them. And then you can see from afar, it's like, this is you here. Remember when I was talking about you being, you know, the first and the last card from the first part, the Six of Swords and the Ten of Swords. It's like you here are able to swim for yourself, although yes, you would have a harder time if you didn't hop onto the boat, but you did, and you saw that there are, you know, at least two people here that you love, that you consider your loved ones, right, that are still struggling, and you want to help them because they're still in those waters that you were just in a few moments ago, right? But here with the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups, it's like here you are, this one here, and then these two are these ones that are perhaps still inside the water. So it's like you have to see them. Well, it's also here with the Eight of Cups that we saw in the first part. That was you know, an emotional investment, perhaps because of these two people. It's like once you go through this threshold and you really cross this interdimensional hurricane in the water, it's like you are able to see things through the emotional lens, but not attached to it. It's like there is a shield that protects you from wanting to jump inside this turbulent waters. It's like you can connect again in an emotional way, but now you are protected. It's like now your heart is protected. So if you were to engage with these ones who perhaps are still inside the water, it's like now you know how to engage in order to guide them to leave the situation that they're in instead of jumping inside the water and helping from the inside out. It's like now you're helping from the outside in. You see the difference? It's like now you're looking from the outside because now you have a new perspective, because now you have followed your own intuition, your own instinct to change your destiny. And from the outside in, you're able to protect what is very, it's like very soft and gentle and pure, which is your heart, right? But it's like now you can show them how to come out of this water on their own, not having to jump after them, because this is the connection here with, well, they were here, right, still inside the water with the Seven of Swords, but because we have after the Knight of Cups, you know, the bottom of the deck being the Seven of Pentacles, it's like this Seven of Pentacles is the way that you, instead of holding them against you, or against, not against face to face, but on your back, right, holding them with you as if you had to carry them, but quickly realizing that you couldn't. Instead of that, it's like you are showing them that right underneath where they're sitting, or where they're swimming, right, or where they're struggling, is the key for them to really change their own destiny. So it's like here, what I'm seeing is you from afar, still emotionally connected, but not feeling drained for it, or because of it, or by them, right? Because now you have protection. And because now you're protected, you can help them find the resources that they have around them. It's like you don't have to give your own personal resources, or if they are not able to swim, it's like you want to be their saving lifeguard, whatever. It's like you don't have to do that. You can show them with your heart connection, because you are still emotionally connected. You can show them that where they are, there is incredible resource for them to really find the solution for their problems, for their own challenges, you see? So this is actually really interesting, because I feel like this is a message where I see the desire for you to help, but it's like teaching them how to help themselves is better than trying to help them in your way, right? It's like by helping yourself, you will make them see that they can too help themselves, right? So after all of that, Sagittarius, let's see what the astrological runes have as a final guidance for you. Yeah, so this rune here comes actually very often, the South Node. But the interesting thing, although usually it comes as a starting point, you know, because the South Node in astrology is connected to the North Node, so it's a straight line, and it's a line that leads us towards our spiritual evolution, right? It's talking about this upgrade or this development journey, right, in our spiritual being and practices. But you know, usually it comes with this message, but for you, Sagittarius, the way that it came as a final guidance was a beautiful smirk, like a side smile, a discreet smile from the universe because of the shape of the South Node. So it came through as almost like a congratulations from the universe, like a happy smile that you learned how to save yourself, and by doing so you're going to be an example for others to also save themselves, to find this initial point in this spiritual journey, but not interfering in their own destiny, just taking care of your own destiny and shifting your destiny by engaging with your spirit, right? With your intuition, with your instinct. This is how it's coming through now more clearly. It's like your intuition is coming through as your higher self, intelligence, knowledge, wisdom. And your instinct, your human instinct, it's like this bodily action that is required for you to move in this 3D, right? So it's like by joining these forces, you are on this path. It's like you have already started it. So it's this beautiful congratulation message from the universe, really, with the South Node as a final guidance for you, Sagittarius. So this is so gorgeous. I hope this was insightful for you, helpful. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.